Wait, hold on. The music on the actual midweek, we're starting to make sense on our shows.
Okay, no. Let's not start acting like we're smart all of a sudden.
Okay, man, we're different.
OMG.
Hey, I don't know about
God.
you, but my IQ has increased by like 0.5.
Clearly, you had to take a time to do it.
You could have just said a random number. Why did you?
That was 0.5. That's the increase. It's just a little bit. I got that little bit of that patch update. You know, I had to update it like VLC. Like, you know, just, you know.
Oh, my goodness. This is rough. This is rough. But people, yes, it's Midweek Chat Attack over here, middle of the week. Technically, last time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday counts as a middle of the week. We're in the center now. But before it was the middle. So fuck you, Gaja.
We're deep in the center of the cheeks of the week now.
No, that's not how any of that works.
Can you actually be the center of the week though? Because like it's 7 days a week, so it's like it's not.
Yeah,
even.
you can be the center of an odd number. It's really easy.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the odd numbers.
Well, Alan, since you're such a great scientist, mathematically, what will be the number for us to go on?
What do you mean?
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, you say a random phrase, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay.
Thank you, guys. High five, guys.
Man, he's gonna betray you.
Yeah, let's do it. Idiots together.
Let's fuck Alan together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you guys keep making sex jokes like that?
No, but man,
Because that person's price coming up, and I'm about to take them.
I have to share a room with these motherfuckers.
oh, so, hey, pucker up, man. Pucker
Imagine
up.
Burnham was like, I gotta share a cage with these motherfuckers. Like,
It's gonna be like Jason 4 or 5, I forget which one, where I just come to the door when he's sleeping, just walk right through. Boom!
That implies I will sleep. I'm gonna be watching you.
Hey, you coming home from Canada right to Austin, but we open up them booty cheeks, you're gonna be singing Sweet Home Alabama.
okay, no, you know what? Here's the thing, man. You're breaking a rule I have with the whole fucking grossness. But you know what, though? We're not gonna be breaking rules on this fucking show because when you guys come into the call, and Anthony, why don't you go and tell him really quick before we actually segue into Gaja's thing? Because I'm curious, how would I get into the call if I wanted to join the show?
Oh, like, let me tell you. Like if you look on this travel package, we have like a lot of great deals. So I want you to book a flight to the left side of your screen. You're gonna open up. You're gonna take a seat right on that Google Hangouts link. Once you click it, we're gonna try to accommodate you when you hop inside the call, and we're gonna make sure you have a really nice flight.
You're gonna call in a very air travel manner.
Man, just like the TSA, though, the MCA got rules on this baby, so please, cut to the rules, Nick Diaz.
Oh,
For example,
the rules.
The
Go ahead,
rules,
man.
motherfucker, just like TSA. So make sure to have, like, no liquids. If you're going to have lotion, keep it on the plane. And just like other rules, exactly. Number 1, newcomers, join the call first. That includes those fine new people we don't get to see all the time, or just showing up for the first time. Hit me, Anthony, Allie, or Nick inside the PM system, and we'll get you in the call. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other. I love that song, but it just ruins audio quality for later viewing, so please do not do it. So again, do not talk over each other. Rule number 3 is pretty simple. Please no nudity. Keep the titty to yourself. That is for Pornhub only. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. Like I say on prior shows, we have a planned show, and that includes the topics that we use and the people that come in during those topics. So if you hand out those topics, man, don't do it. So hand out those links, we'll get you kicked out. Rule number 5, read the rules, and Allie girl, put the ice cream down and say it.
No.
Wait, which part? The say or the ice cream?
Boom!
Don't be a no.
And guys, if you let your therapist, Anthony Wilson Jr., tell you about the lineup tonight, we're also going to be doing MCA Anime Nights. It's going to actually be Studio Trigger. We're going to actually have you relax right on the seat, tell me about your problems, and watch anime.
Dude,
And since it's actually only just going to be like Studio Trigger is only going to be like, you know, really, it's a new and up-and-comer animation studio. We're only going to be watching 4 animes. So I want you to be nice, relax, tell me your issues, tell me your problems, all your mental issues, and we're going to watch some Studio Trigger.
Fucking lunch money after this show, motherfucker.
I think the only reason he got those glasses was to make the joke.
No, I know, no shit. No,
I'm a grown man. I'm damn near 25 years old, and I want to give you a swirly.
No, it's fucking hilarious too because I'm looking at his shirt too. It's like gamer, like you can't tell by the glasses and the fucking voice. Oh my goodness, man! But no, people, as far as the itinerary goes, though, because you're talking about anime night, and that's something that happens after the show. Speaking, by the way, after the show, movie review extravaganza. So we are going to be ending off early, so you guys have enough time to actually watch at least one anime before they start. You know what I mean? So we will be ending off early. But on top of that, too, tonight we're talking about Hey Arnold. We're talking about fucking Hanna Barbera turning old as fuck. Be talking about the PS5 and a few other things as well. So yeah, again, the call if you guys have anything to say about these particular things, look that shit up while you're watching us, and then come to the call and tell us what you think about everything. Because, man, it's kind of hyped, honestly, and I'm kind of weirded out at the fact there's so much animation stuff happening right now. You know what I mean? Feels like we just tried to get these topics, but no, this was pretty easy. Just kind of stumbled upon.
And then it's going to be a little bit more like in a couple of weeks with the whole Comic-Con, because I know we're going to probably just get slammed. So it's going to be just nerd heaven.
So have you guys heard any rumors coming out of Comic-Con, or has it just been kind of silent so far? Because I'm actually surprised. Surprisingly, it's been kind of hush-hush. But
so either they have nothing, or this time around they actually can keep a secret.
Well, no, what the thing is, too, is, on top of all the TV shows that are coming out, I mean, I know there's going to be lots of other, news in that sense, but then also, too, these shows that are going on Netflix, dude, I cannot wait for that Punisher season, actually, it's the first season.
It's the first season, fool.
Wait,
yeah, I want to say that season 2 of Punisher of shit that didn't even have a season 1.
I want to see that lost season, man. Give me that DVD.
It's actually Punisher: A New Hope.
Man, I kind of want that to be the season title for that.
Punisher the Last Vigilante.
Oh my goodness. No, but yeah, I'm kind of hyped up for Comic-Con, but one thing I was hyped up for, and I actually bought some shit too, but dude, fucking Amazon Prime Day. It happened. It's gone.
Y'all told me that this was a holiday. I forgot this was even
Motherfucker, I'm so tired of all these deals that come out with Steam, with Amazon. Fucking eBay's going to have one before I know it. I'm only pissed because they pick the oddest days that I don't get paid. So I watch all this shit that I want go to $12, $20, and I just have to look at it.
It's okay. Shit.
I like that juxtaposition. You show Gaja, the first thing that you show is a brush.
Product placement. Hey guys, we have commercials now.
It's funny because Ganja was like, "Man, I can't believe I missed on this deal," and the fucking brushes come up.
It's okay, Ganja. Don't worry about the deals. All the shit on Amazon Prime Day sucked anyway, so you really didn't miss much.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't see anything. I looked myself. I didn't see anything.
I bought me some terabytes. I bought me some big shit. And here's the thing, Anthony, too.
Yeah, she bought something on Prime Day?
Oh, yeah, no, of course. And here's the thing. I'm going to move a certain way on this webpage before I show this, because I want you guys to tell me what the fuck this thing is, okay? Let me see. Maybe I can open up another picture over here. Yes, I can. Someone please tell me what the fuck is this thing?
Ganja, I think that's on you.
That is clearly a pocket pussy.
That is not a pocket pussy.
That does not fit in your pocket.
No.
Wait, a rice cooker?
Is that a air refresher?
No, it looks like a giant Hershey's Kiss.
What I'll do is I'm actually going to have Anthony tell me what this is by looking at it. Anthony, the answer's right here. What is it?
I thought it was like an air refreshener.
Oh, it's a fart device.
No, it's an aromatherapy diffuser.
Damn, bitch!
It's not that.
You slick motherfucker, you trying to be
I'm trying to get you because you always fuck this shit up, and now you're gonna wait for me to do this shit?
No. Straight fucked you up like Bugs Bunny. He was like, no, man,
Well,
this
let's
rabbit
share half a brain.
I guess you did take that IQ test, that motherfucker.
No, but what is this device? What is it for?
No, it's actually supposed to. It fills your home with soothing smells of bargain. What?
The bargain?
For a bargain.
Oh, for a bargain.
Oh, okay, my bad.
It smells like the SWAT shop.
It smells like
really close.
No, it's one of those things where you just put this liquid in, and then it starts aerosolizing it, so it fills your house with whatever scents you put into it.
If you get really close, you can actually smell the hard work of young children.
Aww.
Damn.
That's actually the neutral smell. If you don't put any canisters or anything, it just smells like the broken dreams with Chinese kids.
You can smell the lavender. So just take it in.
That's
you can smell the child
abuse. Like lavender.
You're joking stuff like that, but it is something down there that actually did seem pretty cool. The only thing is, it's just more tool and more things to make us more lazy than we already are. But that whole cooler set that's on the water, in the pool, you could just go grab a sandwich or stuff like that. Because I know me and my mom, we always want to go camping and do trips like that where we're always in the water and stuff like that. Because I love swimming and stuff like that, and going to pools, especially considering the summertime. That seems like a really cool thing. You know what? Kick back, grab a beer, That's fucking awesome, man. Like, they put it in the bathtub.
No, but here's the thing, dude.
Oh my god.
I just pictured this motherfucker with a bowl of cereal in the bathtub.
That's a big bathtub if you could float a pool in there, man.
No, can you imagine Anthony with that big ass thing of fucking like pine salt juice?
Mama, give me a charger. My iPad died. I'm not done with Captain Crunch.
Oh,
One thing too is like, and this is the thing, like you're hyped about that, dude. But no, I'm super hyped because they got lots of technological, like huge technical stuff in there, like socks. Holy fuck, dude, socks.
oh man, you can get
Oh
Sucks.
boy!
Oh shit, man.
Oh,
Not like
man.
you can get that at Walmart for the same
Sucks.
price.
Y'all
Next
joking?
year-
Hold on. Y'all joking? But like, I'm a person that goes through socks. I don't know where they go. I don't know if my dryer just
Man,
cooks
that's
them.
true. I swear, there are some gremlins just taking all.
No,
of our
I
socks.
have to
Dude,
take care of my
I'm totally
clothing
used
properly. I have my socks always come
I
back.
swear, I put my socks exactly in the same place, and somehow they're gone.
Damn, she got anger on that
Well-
shit.
Well,
I make
it's more like the
sure
situation.
I pair them together to make sure I don't lose one, and then all of a sudden I just lose the whole thing. I'm like, I swear, I put it in this place, and it's just gone.
Okay.
I think one of your fans found out where your socks are.
So
Oh,
either you're not taking care of them properly, or there's a
blaming
gremlin.
Harley. My mom's blaming Harley.
you probably
See,
will.
what it is your mom is actually taking her socks because she doesn't want to wash her
Man,
clothes.
she probably is. I can know when she wears my. I know when she wears my socks. I'm just gonna say that.
But you know what?
Yeah, she looked at her feet and go, "Those are my socks."
Yeah, no shit. But one thing I will say though, you know what? You seem so mad, Allie. You know, I'm gonna buy you something from Amazon Prime Day, even though it's too fucking late. Okay, here you go. It's a dinosaur pasta server. How?
You know what?
What the
I
fuck
take
is this
it.
list? Na, na,
Y'all
na, na,
joking,
na.
but I can see
Let her
Allie
go.
doing some shit like that on an off call with us, just like, here, you guys, look what I got. Do, 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 do.
Like honestly, I feel like Dr. Grant walked in.
Small
with-
world after all. What are you?
Fuck you, Alan. I was hoping nobody noticed.
I thought that too.
It's like the baby doesn't want to eat her green beans. Life finds a way.
No man, like this shit's hilarious. Like just looking at that fucking spoon thing, because I'm just kind of like I'm thinking about the rest of part of the actual movie, and like this is literally how I'll be reacting. Just like, oh fuck, it's a spoon. It's a dinosaur spoon. Oh shit.
The worst part about that is go to the title of this fucking article you're citing. It's like top 10 deals you missed or some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, yeah.
Pasta server. Ooh.
No, that's the thing. We make
Top
it
10
feel like
Amazon you didn't know you needed, like a fucking shark spoon and an inflatable fucking cooler.
Yeah, I didn't
No,
need.
yeah,
I
that's
didn't know I
cool.
needed a fucking dinosaur spoon.
hey, you need it, man. You need it. You just didn't know it. But like y'all talking, like, we making jokes and stuff like that. What are some things that y'all wanted from Amazon Prime that y'all like was like it could be useful? I need that. Like me personally, I would like to see some deals on headphones because y'all know my bad luck with headphones. Like I just can't. I don't know.
The way they
I
made
wanted
it
to
always
get-
seem the first time they did it was like, oh, it's going to be some like the Steam sales where it's like, oh, everything's going to be discounted to a certain degree. But it's always just small things that nobody needs or nobody knows
But
exist.
what would you pick up, Alan? Like what would you want them to like market?
I'm USBs. Like I picked these. I was on camera. USBs. I picked these. I'm obsessed with USB. Like getting the bigger hard drives, all that stuff. So for me, it's just like I want to get a 512 gig USB.
And
Just because I think that'd be awesome, stuff like that, you know.
I think the marketing could have been better because there was a lot of sales. Like for instance, like you, Anthony, you're talking about headphones. Like yeah, there was lots of headphones on sale. The ones I actually use right now were like half off. And then another thing too is like for flash drives. I think now flash drives are starting to kind of go away. Actually, Alan, I'm kind of surprised that you still bring it up because the terabytes now. I bought me a 2 terabyte non-power source drive, an external drive.
Right.
Where it was only $60 and basically like it plugs in like a flash drive. Like you don't need no power supply, you don't need no wall, you don't need no electricity. It just plugs into shit. And like they do.
But
like, I love.
I
it.
got that. I got a 2 terabyte hard drive for the same price without Prime Day.
Oh, without Prime Day? Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes they're discounted, but sometimes it's like, oh, here's 30 cents off or some bullshit. Like it's generally either not that good or not on sale at all.
Yeah.
What about you, Ganja? Like, what would you get on Amazon Prime Day, or something that you would want them to mark
See,
down?
Amazon Prime, I could have gone for some more headphones because my headphones right now, I like them. They're Bose and they give good sound quality, but it has that stupid audio box at the bottom. And anytime I try to put this bitch in my pocket, it gets unplugged. And it's getting to the point now that it's just become a hassle. I know first world problems.
Is
So
it the
I would like to replace them.
Is it the noise canceling ones?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had a choice to get those, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to choose these other ones, and they're so much better.
And a lot of the brands that I was like, they had a Bose one that wraps around the ear, and I really like those because the ones that go like the earbuds from iPods, they tend to irritate my ears because I'm kind of sensitive with my ears.
Right.
So I like the Bose one because they got great sound quality. It's better than Beats, and it's a cheaper price. And they had them on there for Amazon. I'm broke, motherfucker. That you want to choose every time I don't get paid.
The one thing I got myself, and I've been waiting for this fucking thing, was this little Fitbit smart fitness watch thing. I used to have these fucking like watches, these heart rate monitors, and what they do is they give you a chest strap, and you gotta put that shit up against your nipples when you fucking running or anything, or else it won't catch your heart rate. And this fucking thing, man, like it does it by your wrist. Like I love these fucking things. Like these are badass. So I'm really kind of glad that I got me that, and then obviously that's that fucking 2 terabyte drive. And yes, Allie, you really looked out more than me. I'm jealous as shit. Like, but Ruth is in the call, actually.
I was just about to ask him, too, because it said he had picked up some micro SD cards, because I know a lot of people was looking for those, too.
Yeah.
Micro SD cards, like, for, like, those disposable cameras things? Or
like phones, right? Like, I'm thinking.
Yeah, you got phones, cameras.
One was for phone, one was for camera that I got, and then I got a third one for, I forgot what the heck the thing. But not really a tablet. It's kind of like mid-tablet, mid-phone size.
Okay.
But yeah,
How much do they typically run?
Well, I got one that was 256 gigs, and it was like 105, and then I got some other ones that were like 40.
Oh wow. Yeah, because I'm looking through here too, man, and yeah, like these seem to be somewhat kind of like, I guess. Like, I mean, if I don't see the Prime like logo right next to it, I'm kind of like, like I don't know, I'm not gonna get this shit.
Right.
But look at this, like SanDisk, like yeah, for
SanDisk are
$54, I would wait for Amazon Prime Day to get this shit because that's expensive.
Well, that's the thing. Like sometimes they get discounted, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
The 256 was one of the ones that was on sale for Prime Day. It was like 104. I think it's normally 200.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, I think for me, I don't know about. I mean, I know everyone else is like, yeah, it shit sucks, but I'm happy with Amazon Prime Day, and I'm looking forward to dude, summer sales for Steam is looking good right now. PSS whooping ass. Comic Con's gonna come up. You know, it's gonna be more summer sales. I'm fucking hyped. I am so happy with everything. So that's it. It helps me out with the rest of my fucking depression. But here's the thing. With me, I'm happy with that shit. But Anthony, I know you had to be happy with this shit because you love your nostalgia and you love your animation, son. Tell me what you think about this particular fucking thing, because for me, I'm
okay. It's interesting because like they really didn't show like anything from the movie, and just for context, people like this Nickelodeon released a short trailer, or as they call it, first look at the Nickelodeon. I think it's going to be called Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie. Bad title, by the way.
Yeah.
But I pretty much, I guess it's going to explore the whole origins of pretty much how Arnold's parents were like explorers, and I think it said like it's going to pick up right after where they left off, and apparently they were in the 5th grade, which I don't remember. I was like, damn, they were that young. And this movie is they're gonna start going to like the 6th.
They were that young, experiencing school shooting.
Yeah, no, right? It's like the 5th grade. They was going through all this shit. Like they had some like really dark ass episodes, and like that all that shit was in the 5th grade. So I'm just like, then again, this is supposed to take place like in New York or Harlem. So yeah, so you know what? You know what? That's the source material. But this video is pretty much just showing their updated looks and stuff like that, which. If you really don't look at the old art, you really don't see too much of a difference. I guess you can see like just little nuances. I'm just like, okay, they changed this and this. I'm curious about it because I think this is just like the start of them bringing back old shows, because it seems like they're adopting the same kind of game plan that Cartoon Network was doing, where they was like, they brought back Powerpuff Girls and then like a whole bunch of these other shows just start coming right after it. So Nickelodeon, this seems like they're going to use this as a testing ground to be like, oh, y'all still like those 90 old shows? Well, let's start bringing them back one by one. And Hey Arnold, I guess, is their launching pad. So
my question for you, Anthony, because it seems like you're more onto this, because I was interested in Hey Arnold and the other Nickelodeon, the original Nicktoons that's growing up as well, but it seems like you're more up to date with what's going on with this project. Are they doing a time skip, or like are they?
No, it's taken right off the back of the season, because I think they said in the video that in the series finale, or because I don't know if Hey Arnold got canceled, like just straight canceled, or actually had a season.
Didn't they end it with the movie?
Yeah, I think they ended it with the movie, but they said the last episode has something to do with like them going to like a jungle or something.
I
remember.
I know what you're talking about. The last episode was just basically Grandpa talking to Hey Arnold about his parents being explorers, and I guess they left him for one last exploration, and it just cuts off with him finding a map where his parents are.
Yeah, and I think this movie is gonna pick up right after that.
Right.
Like right after that. So no time jump, no nothing. They're gonna be in 6th grade. And I'm like, okay, they picking it right off. Like that's actually kind of cool and stuff like that.
I just want to know if we're gonna see Helga Pataki's twerk. That's all I want to know.
I want to see if they actually gonna be dating like Helga and Arnold, because she admitted her feelings in the movie like at the very end. So are they gonna be dating?
Or calls on football head all the fucking time?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the girl. Yeah, Helga.
I wonder if they're going to be playing Welcome to the Jungle at any point during this movie.
Or
you know they will.
Or explore how Helga's mom is apparently an alcoholic.
We don't know. Those could just be very good ice jokes.
She's actually a friend of fucking Buster Baxter's fucking mom.
Buster Baxter.
Did anyone get a hint that Buster's mom abandoned him at one point?
Yeah, no, and then she left him for Dick. For Bunny Dick. It's fucked up, man. It happened.
Hey, multiple I like bronies.
Oh.
No, but like I said, like
Arthur
this
Fist.
No, this, like I said, this seems cool, and I think it's gonna be pretty much like a launching pad. Like personally, and I always say this about everything, I would like a little bit more original program and stuff like that, because the stuff that they have on there is kind of just like stuff that kind of needs to die. Like I know Fairy Godparents is still going on, add fucking characters to it. Yeah, I'm just like, stop it, just stop it. And
But
then I know they got
Poof too now.
no, and then they got Sanjay and Craig, which has its moments. Like Sanjay and Craig, like other episodes is kind of funny, other episodes is kind of like meh. Then again, it's created by the same person that made Bob Burgers, so it's gonna be kind of weird. So I'm just like,
Well, not that. We got to peek at what the modern Nicktoons look like when we were at the hotel in Vegas, because we were all just drunk out of mind, just trying to find something to watch.
Mhm.
And from what I got, like they were all like doing the live action shows still. Like it was like 3 or 4 live action shows, and like the only cartoon I saw was the Loud House, where like it takes place with this one character who has like 8 sisters or 9 sisters, and it's just about their lives. It's just like one of those cartoons like The Simpsons, just about a wacky day in the life of these family. And it's actually really well done, and some of the references and innuendos are pretty vulgar for like the time. Like I don't think they would have got away with a lot of the jokes they do in this shows now than if they would have done like, let's say, the Rugrats.
yeah, out of all those shows, yeah, the Loud House is probably the one to actually watch. Even though, like I said, they kind of, and I probably mentioned this on the show before, but apparently Loud House was like the first show to have like an interracial gay couple. So I'm like, it is kind of making like some noise, like in the whole animation community of the subject matters that it's kind of tackling. But like other than that, like you said, it's a lot of live action shows, which is kind of weird. And then like the Thundermans and it's like some other stuff too, which is just like I hate when Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon does live action shows. I always feel like that's a little bit more on the Disney side, which Disney seems to be getting a little more focused on their animated content. But but
Nick used to have a ton of live action. Like back in the day, that was Nick's thing. Was doing live action shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all
like,
that.
Nick, live action. I was like, wait, what the fuck did I do?
I think not Nick Cannon's show. It was Keenan and Kel. They had a live action show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even before that, I mean, you had Hey Dude, you had all the Snick shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
or The Adventures of Pete.
all that.
Oh, there was one. She was my crush for the longest. She played Sabrina the
Lucha
Teenage Witch.
Yeah,
Jeremy's
what's
Out
Jim
Killer,
Hart?
or am I thinking of-
Explains it all.
Yeah,
Cliff
Cliff explains it all. Dude, I'll let you know right now. If I get famous, I'll try to hit down that shit. So easy.
Good lord.
I know. I'm trying to ride on Sabrina's broom, man. I want to see what it's about.
Yeah.
You do know that means you.
No, you know what? Let's just let it sit.
Anthony, you know what I mean.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Wow.
No, he doesn't.
You know what's fucked up is that these two are just at EDC really, really high off a bunch of shit. And I'm like, what did y'all two do? That he's like, you know what I'm talking about, Anthony. Sabrina's broom. Ha, dick. So anyway, no, but here's the thing. It's not the only weird thing about this, too, because this fucking trailer does this weird thing where they're trying to zoom in on the fucking dude's crotch. What the fuck was that? Like,
Hand up shot.
no, because there's another one where it literally zooms in forward towards or whatever. Like this fucking, and then it zooms on his afro afterwards too. Like I don't know, it's a very weird fucking
Is that
trailer.
an afro or flat top?
Look at that. It's zooming right into his nuts. And then going to come on, man. Like that's weird as shit. Like
That is stretching, my friend, and I hope you get a good one.
wait, what? Get going. I don't know what that means, but hey, whatever.
Like you're talking about the way the animation on the pants. Come on, Nick.
No, like, dude, it's a zoom in. This is not an animation thing. This is a fucking, like, whoever did this editing afterwards. Like, that's fucking weird. It's a little weird.
I just can't. I'm really curious about the product, though. Like, I really can't wait to see it. Just and I think
he's interested.
Yeah, I just like whatever. But and I think it's not even gonna be like a because I actually thought they was bringing it back as a series, but like no, it's just gonna be a movie or probably like a special or short or whatever. So I'm like I said,
finale. They're gonna end it,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna tune in just to see how they ended or whatever. So and if this does good, which I hope it does, maybe we could get like some other stuff. Like out of all the Nicktoons to come back, I don't know, because I was like a fan of some of them, but the ones that kind of came on Nicktoons, like the side network, like the weird shit, like Kappa Mikey, 3 Delivery, Making Fiends, cartoons that nobody fucking knowed about, and they never showed. I don't know what the fuck. Like they never showed them on like the mainstream networks, like shit like the X's. I don't even know if anybody remembers that. So it's just like those kind of cartoons, and it's just like the ones I want them to bring back, they'll never bring back. So,
I would like to see them try to bring back. It was the one with the action figures, and it was all stop motion.
Ooh, Action League Now!
Action League Now.
I love that show. It's so weird.
I want to see if they can bring Action League Now because I loved it when they did. I think it was Prometheus, and I forget what the fucking caveman name was, but they would just show him trying to educate the caveman. And the caveman be fucking up the whole time. It was like some old not Jerry Springer, Tom and Jerry shit.
That was kind of almost like Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken. Yeah, like, it was totally like that. And
I'm sure
I love
Robot Chicken to a certain degree.
Yeah, it probably did. Oh, yeah, Ganja, thank you, man. Yeah, because I forgot all about that. Yeah, I would love that. Now,
Kablam was like the show.
Yes,
and it was just a segment in Kablam.
Yeah, although a lot of spin-offs came from I know that's where Fairy Godparents came from, or Fairy Odd Parents came from Kablam, because it just showed like a lot of shorts. That's what I want Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network to do. Like kind of like what kind of Cartoon Network is doing on their YouTube channel. Like they're having people submit shorts to like their YouTube channel, and they're having people like vote in the comments and saying, oh, which one of these that you like as a pilot that you wanted to turn into like a full show or whatever. So like I wish Nickelodeon would do something like that. Like just have, because you got so many fucking animators that you can use on YouTube and online.
Man. Even SpongeBob behind.
No,
is SpongeBob still around?
Turn around. Look at SpongeBob. Look at him. He is the biggest money maker for fucking Nicktoons ever, and he's the only reason that shit's still around.
Look at SpongeBob. SpongeBob's laughing at him. SpongeBob's like, "Come on, you know you want it. Come on,
I'll make that money, bitch."
That's good. That's not what SpongeBob or
are you really gonna ask me to do a real impression of SpongeBob right now, Alan? Are you really fucking kidding me?
What the fuck do you expect from us? Like,
hey, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do an impression of a character, you fucking do it or don't do it.
I fucking tried.
Not hard enough.
and meanwhile, Alan's over here like, you don't sound like SpongeBob. You don't sound like him. You don't sound like him at all. Sound like fucking Patrick and shit. Like, dude, we know. God damn it, shit. Come on, guys. You gotta do it right.
Judging you.
There we
go.
go.
Oh, she did. Wait, I like how she was judging us and then she did the fucking SpongeBob.
I know.
Better than all of us, by the way.
No, fail. You know what? Boom.
Better than y'all. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you sound like SpongeBob. I'm sorry.
They should do the Patrick voice pretty well.
But the thing is, though, and by the way, too, it's funny how Allie's talking now. I'm looking at the fucking chat. Y'all talking about, I don't know what the chat's become tonight, but it's all about Sephora and fucking, like, makeup.
What is Sephora? Is that a makeup or a music show?
See, what's going on in the chat room right now is why we didn't have another all-ladies show, because we ain't about to talk about makeup and shit.
I'll talk about makeup. Hey, Allie, what's like the new? No, I'm just fucking. Hey, I ain't gonna do that shit. No way. But we are gonna stick on animation just a little bit longer, and it might be a little bit quick because I don't got no opinion on it. And plus, this shit's so old. The only thing that I know that's connected to this is actually Double Toasted, believe it or not. But Hanna Barbera, but you know what you said?
Hanna Barbera.
There you go. Thank you. I was gonna say Hanna Barbera.
And you know what? I take this time. You know what, Nick? You know what? Let me take it, sweetie. Let me take it.
There's your fucking.
No, but the Hanna Barbera man, because it's kind of funny because we was actually talking about it in the call, and I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was a gotcha or something. Like he was like,
hold on. I want to tell that story later on. Keep going.
No.
Wait,
no,
I know he's going to talk about, but I want to tell that story later because it's part of one of my answers.
Okay, I'll save it. No, but like, I remember just growing up, like, it's kind of funny because, like, I always tell people that I have a love for, like, the 50s, the 60s, like, old-fashioned type of stuff. And I think Hanna-Barbera is part of that, like, mainly Hanna-Barbera and just Boomerang, because Boomerang pretty much was the Hanna-Barbera network. Like, it was like, it had old Cartoon Network shows and stuff like that, like Dexter's Lab and stuff like that. But it was mostly Hanna-Barbera stuff or, like, in old classic MGM. And pretty much just growing up, because I know we talked about Nicktoons earlier, But I grew up with Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is probably the reason for my personality and the way I am now. And like I said, Boomerang, the whole 50s stuff. Like some of my like favorite cartoons on there, like Tom and Jerry is pretty much like that antithesis of like the whole 50s style and why I like that stuff. Just the animation and just like the whole, just like jazz, like the reason why I like that type of music and just like the crackles in the film and whatever. It just had that old school feel, and I always loved it as a kid. And that kind of like got me into like those type of animations like Mighty Mouse and old Donald Duck and Woody Woodpecker at the time and stuff like that. So that like Tom and Jerry, that was kind of like, and it was another one too, Wacky Racers and shit, like Penelope Pit Stop, like that type of stuff, like this shit like that. Every time I see that lion and Tom and Jerry cartoons, I just get like a sense of nostalgia because like it's just like Tom and Jerry, that mouse and that fucking cat is probably like the biggest like inspiration on just my love for animation and just my love for like the 50s. Like I owe a lot to that fucking cartoon.
Shit. I'll raise the bar. Tom and Jerry and a lot of those old classic cartoons like Foghorn Leghorn, Bugs Bunny, which I know is MGM, but later down the line, Hanna Barbera started doing a lot of projects with them and doing a lot of crossovers with these properties.
Yeah, and here's
so they almost
races, by the way.
Exactly. So they almost became synonymous. So when I started growing up on a lot of these old animation, when the Hanna Barbera cartoons really started becoming on full far on Cartoon Network, I was kind of already educated with those kind of old cartoons. So when I got to see Wacky Races, Snaggletooth, the Pink Panther was my favorite because there was hardly any dialogue unless you were doing Professor Clouseau's bits and his storylines, and it was just all audio, sound effects. There was barely any laugh track, and even as a kid, that was just so memorized just from the way that the sound, the movement, and that's another thing. Like they did some outlandish shit. Like, what the fuck is the Pink Panther doing in Rome?
Clearly, he's a time traveler. I don't see the problem.
Oh no, don't get. And I think I don't remember to sue me if this is wrong, but I honestly think that Hanna Barbera had some of the best cartoons growing up, especially in the '90s, because they kind of kept the vibe going. Like a lot of those old '50 cartoons, like Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'm trying to think of some old ones because this is like deep 5-year-old ganja memory right now, and I smoked a lot of those away. So. So, like, a lot of those cartoons, they kind of felt like very catered to like that 50s mentality. So when you got to a lot of these more modern Hanna Barbera cartoons that came out in the 70s, 80s, like Scooby-Doo and stuff like that, they felt timeless. Like, I honestly think you could have any kid sit down and watch any of these cartoons and they still would enjoy it.
No, and plus, like, these motherfuckers were like animation, like I said, like you watch Disney, you watch old school Disney, and you watch Hanna Barbera if you want to get an animation, because these motherfuckers is like the amazing artists at cutting corners. Like it's pretty much a joke on Boomerang how they use like recycled animation for random animations and backgrounds. Like, God, don't need to walk around in circles.
I know, but that's the thing though. Like, it may have done that, but as a kid, especially at the people audience they were catering to, you don't notice that shit. Like I didn't notice that until like school. Like, oh my god, it's the same fucking background.
Yeah, like you don't notice that stuff, and it's just like it's kind of like interesting that they like was cutting corners back then, especially considering like animation, like even now is really expensive. Just imagine back then.
Anthony, I don't know if you remember this. We're about to have an animation boner, guys. I'm sorry, but I don't know if you remember this. But like old cartoons, like when they're about to interact with something, it was always more highlighted and the objects around it, so you could always tell that they were about to grab that item.
For real?
Man, they still do that shit today, man.
See, and y'all haven't even mentioned my favorite thing about the Hanna-Barbera stuff. As a kid, not currently, but like as a kid,
right? My
favorite thing was when they would show Scooby-Doo's Laugh Olympics. And so you would have like literally every Hanna-Barbera cartoon would appear as like a guest appearance or as an announcer. But it was like the different major shows like Scooby-Doo, Quick Draw McGraw's show. I forgot who else had them. You had all the bad guys would pop up from different stuff, like from all the different shows. It was like a mix of all the bad guys. It was great.
Hold on, rewind that, Nick. Rewind that.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all caught that shit. The Scooby Doobies.
Yes. As a kid, I had no idea what that meant. It was like,
I just
whoa.
Hanna-Barbera was on the ball, y'all.
But it was great. Like I legitimately loved that. It was like a superhero team up, but with cartoons that I loved laughing at.
No, this was like the Avengers before the Avengers.
Pretty much, man. The Laugh Olympics and the Wacky Races, they were pretty much the Avengers for that period, because you got to see a lot of these characters that would make references to each other and sometimes interact, actually start to talk to her. Like Captain Caveman knows fucking Scooby-Doo, man. Jabba Jaw hung out with the Mystery Gang, which I still want him to appear on Riverdale, by the way, Alan.
Oh God!
Yeah, they will.
Live
They
action?
will. It's gonna
I had a
be a rivalry from another school, and it's gonna be some big muscular jock guy, and it's gonna have just a shark thing. And his nickname's gonna be whatever.
No, but the thing is, you guys bring that up though. But like, here's the thing, and I'm just gonna throw my 1-2 cents, my 1-2 cents. That doesn't make no fucking sense.
Hold on,
my
my
2
mind's
cents
still
in.
blowing. Go ahead.
Because I know you and I are gonna agree with this big time. Because you even put this up on the Google Docs and things like that, Ganja. But like, this show is the only show that I remember really super digging. Dexter's Lab. I did not know.
Actually, you want to hear a fun fact about this show, Nick Diaz?
Oh, what's up?
Are you a fan of Family Guy?
No, I fucking hate Family
no,
Guy.
don't.
Guess what? Seth MacFarlane was one of the executive hands behind this show.
That's a fucking shame.
Yes, he was.
Well,
Yes,
he did.
was.
He made good things at some point in his life.
Yeah, a lot of those people that started went on to like do a lot of cartoons. I know the creator of Chowder. I want to say Jerry Tartakovsky too, right? The guy that made Senator Jack too as well. I think he also had like some the deal with Dexter's Lab. Like a lot of those guys went on to do their own personal projects. That's why Dexter's Lab was so fucking good.
I love that show. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid, man.
I used to get home and watch this shit. Like, man, I love that 2-hour block of like Beast Wars, Pokemon, Animaniacs.
Shit, Dexter's Laboratory was another one of those that had like a very dark movie with it. I don't know if you remember watching it, where like the first half is just about Dexter working in an office space and just the hardest shit of just being in a dead-end office job for like the first 30 minutes of it. I think that's the reason my ass never wanted to work in office.
Or maybe because it fucking sucks, man. That might be another issue.
Like, I remember there was one scene in particular, like he pokes his head out and it's old Dexter, and he looks like bummed out, old, decrepit, just like the life is taken out of him. He's creeping over trying to do some sneaky shit, and the minute he creeps over, Mandark's his boss, and he creeps over to the other side and just looks at him, and they just go back slowly.
Wow. Damn.
Oh, I wanted to mention this, and this is kind of weird, but it's just like we talking about old Hanna Barbera, and I used to watch the Flintstones as well. It wasn't my favorite out of all the cartoons and stuff like that, but I used to actually watch it. I used to dig it and stuff like that. But did anybody get the feeling that Fred Flintstone was kind of abusive?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't know where you're getting that from, man.
No, I'm getting some weird vibes from this, man.
Dude, if you ever watched the ending of the original Flintstones, he basically gets locked out the house, and I'm more than sure he didn't hit Wilma like open-handed or closed fist, but he threw something at her.
No, yeah. I mean, even here. I mean, she's
Jesus. No.
Taking
And
it
that's
like
when
a
Ellie
champ.
decided to leave the MCA.
I can't, and our only words to her were, "I can't believe it was this long."
I can't wait to see a Watch Mojo video, like Watch Mojo's top 10 abusive Fred Flintstone moments.
Y'all have a bunch of haters.
I mean, the Flintstones were basically just a rip off of the Honeymooners. That's why you get that feeling. Because he definitely is abusive on the Honeymooners.
Dude, he's literally wearing an orange fucking, wife beater. And he's wearing Negan's scarf. Like, of course he's abusive.
What?
He's a blue version of
It's
Negan's
all right.
scarf.
He never hit her with the ring hands, all right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like everything about the Flintstones was basically just the Honeymooners done with a cartoon, so that it could be more over the top and kid like. And I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, man. Like, this fucking picture is just fucked up.
Stop showing it.
Because his face is so happy, just like, yeah.
Yeah, I beat her good. Yabba dabba do.
I'll get me some dino DNA. No, I'm sorry.
That was actually the problem with the first movie. They actually cloned Wilma.
Yeah, that is true. That shit was
Wait,
bad.
what?
No,
Make it a
cloned
Jurassic Park reference, motherfucker. Keep up.
Yeah.
Oh.
The mosquito. The mosquito had the blood of Wilma's fucking nose. Like
The mosquito.
No, but one of my favorite were Johnny Quest, because
Yeah,
I
Johnny's
thought that was like a more mature cartoon for me, and just the action scenes were pretty well done. I know they repeated a lot of stuff, especially when it came to like the mechanical creatures and the spiders and monsters, but even then, as a kid, it just captured just a sense of adventure, and I appreciate what Venture Bros were able to do with it, because they basically picked that up and continued that kind of universe, just more extreme and just more adult oriented. But I think in the 90s they even did a reboot of Johnny Quest that I enjoyed for like a series.
Yeah.
But my problem, and now I'm going to tell the story now that Anthony you were alluded to earlier. I thought for a while Johnny Quest, because of Johnny Quest and a lot of the Hanna Barbera shows that try to make stuff realistic, For the long time, I thought that Dragon Ball Z was a Hanna Barbera property.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
Not only did I think Hanna. No, hold on, it gets better. Not only did I think it was a Hanna Barbera property, but I thought Inuyasha and a lot of the animes that came out in the early 2000s was Hanna Barbera made. And as a little kid, I was like, "Damn, Hanna Barbera has gotten badass." I didn't realize this shit came from Japan until the age of 15.
Scooby Doo fighting
kid,
man.
That's different. Man. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be the guy who makes fun of you. Okay, I ain't that fucking nerdy.
No, I don't mind because dumbass kids. But like, I just thought it was a continuation of Johnny Quest, and they just got like some badass animators in there.
I was going to bring up how you had confused 90s when you had said Hanna-Barbera as female. Like the creator.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it was. I was just like, no. I was like, no, it's based off too much.
I was into the 90s the night before saying Hanna-Barbera is a female turned 60. And I was like, what? Wait,
Dude,
what?
I'm so glad I didn't talk a lot during the segment because I thought it was a girl this whole fucking time.
No. Like the name comes from the two founders that came from MGM. Like it was Joseph Barbera.
Passed away recently. I think it was Barbera.
I don't know. Like I can't remember the other guy's name, but it was Joseph Barbera and there's something Hanna. I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, that's pretty much that's where the name actually came from.
Hanna-Barbera is not a person; it's a combination of two names.
Would you say, Ruthless?
It's William Hanna and Joseph Barbera.
Thank you. Yeah, Wilson Hanna and Joseph Barbera. Yeah, so yeah, it's two dudes, two old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But no, but Justin's back. I know your internet's been messing up over and over again, so hopefully you're able to stick with this.
It's the problem that my microphone's not connecting properly, so I'm just using the computer speakers.
Oh, okay. Well, you sound
Nice.
good and everything whatnot. But before we move on to the next topic, or probably even leave, because I know that it's starting to get kind of late. We're getting close to the movie review extravaganza again. I cannot wait to know about what they're going to think about Wish Upon, because what the fuck?
Also, just to say,
Are you wearing a red jumpsuit?
No shit. Like,
no, you don't know. He's gonna star in a White Stripes music video.
No, I'm like, this motherfucker doing it for Gambit.
No, I'm wearing my color. I'm just red color, all red, baby, all red.
At least, I'll say this: at least he's wearing.
In some neighborhoods in Texas, you get shot.
ooh.
I thought you was gonna say California, but Nick,
I know. I was like, say, like, you got your people mixed up. But no, go ahead, Justin.
Oh no, I was saying that's what I was thinking. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. No, but no, I was gonna say like just before we go, because I want to give everybody a chance. Because Allie haven't said a whole lot too. I see that you're muted. I don't know. Maybe your dog.
Yeah, my dog. She's her and her toy.
Well, while you're here, because I don't hear a whole lot. Anything you want to say about Hanna Barbera? Are you even a fan? Do you appreciate the works of Hanna Barbera?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it, but
Is there a show? Aww. Is there a show or anything that they've done that you feel like we haven't brought up at this point?
no. Honestly, like I didn't when I was younger. I didn't really pay attention to like the studio names. Now that I do, but yeah, I don't really have much to add. Like, hey, they're great.
Yeah, I feel
grew
the
up
same
with
way
them.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now Justin, you being a super like, oh my god, you IMDb everything, a little gay. I mean, it's just a little bit, just like fruity as fuck almost. No, actually, no, super gay. God, I fucking hate you.
Anyway, you know a lot about animation, so what about you, Justin?
Thank you, Birdman. No, anyway. Yeah, I love this era of cartoons. I grew up watching these after school because there's that period of time, like right before all the new cartoons like started to take over everything, where they have those blocks where you can watch old Looney Tunes, you can watch old Hanna Barbera cartoons, really catch that whole glory days of the 70s, 50s, and the 60s. And I grew up watching, Flintstones and Jetsons along with all the new stuff. I mean, it sounds like you guys covered a lot of the shows that I used to watch, but I mean, I just got to give a special shout out again to Quick Draw McGraw and El Kabong because I love El Kabong. That's just the greatest. But
Someone say bong?
I knew that would make
No,
that was funny as fuck. That was good.
that's El the Bong.
Continue, Justin. I'm sorry.
No,
but actually, one of my favorite things, I don't know if you guys mentioned it, there was that time when they were doing the transition between the old and new cartoons where they have those bumpers where they would integrate old cartoons alongside all the new guys. So I remember there was one they did on Cartoon Network where they had like Scrappy Doo, who was sitting outside of the studio.
Yes.
And he was just like, nobody gives me any respect. And everyone's just like, oh, who are you again? I'm Scrappy, dang it!
Yeah, it was pretty much an entire bumper of them just shitting on Scrappy Doo. Dexter was just like, hey, you're Scrappy Doo. Oh, you are a genius. He was cussing out everybody. He was like, nobody understands my worth. He was just cussing on them. I'm like, I love that shit, man. I love this.
Oh yeah, no, but my two favorites from that generation. There was one that was totally random until I realized the joke that it was a Pulp Fiction reference, where Shaggy and Droopy Dog are driving in a car together, they're doing the Quarter Pounder monologue for Pulp Fiction, but with cartoon characters. And I'm like, okay, that is. When I finally appreciated it, I'm like, wow, we don't see anything like that anymore on TV shows. But then my other favorite was the running gag where they'd have Birdman and the other some of the other Super Friends style superheroes just dealing with mundane problems like going to the movie theater or going to the airport. And they're talking that stilted Hanna-Barbera style dialogue where they're like, something is wrong. Yes, we do not have popcorn for this movie theater. That is a problem. The movie previews are starting, and if we don't hurry soon, we'll run out of popcorn before the movie starts. And it's just
it was a lot.
I love that generation.
It was a lot of those too, because just two more things to mention too, since you thought about the bumpers, because it gave us so much personality. There was another one where Fred was like, because there was a joke about how he wear the ascot or whatever, or a scarf, and it was one where Fred just fucking flipped out. He was just like, people always wonder why I wear this ascot. Well, mind your own fucking business. But they bleeped it out. He was just cussing.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
no,
just
look
like,
it up.
he
It's
just kept just yelling at the screen, just like, mind your own fucking business. And he's just like, remember, fashion first. And then it was another one too, because they had like these thing called wedges or shorties or something like that. And it was always this one I loved the most. It was a short called Nacho Bear, where it was like a nacho. It was like this bear that was like a nacho like libre or a superhero or some shit like that. And he was always trying to find different ways to get nacho chips. So it was just the weirdest shit ever.
Man, I could top that. I remember one bumper. It was back when they were starting to mix the modern cartoons with the old ones, like Justin was saying. I think it was around the early or late, the mid 2000s, like 2002, 2003. There was a bumper with Ed. I forget which one. I think it was just regular Ed, ED, the stupid one from Ed and Eddie. And he went on a date with Velma, and not Velma, but Daphne. And the whole time he's just hassling her. He's just grossing her out. And finally at the end, she's just talking about, and all he does is talk about Double D. I don't know how to compete with that. She looks down, and that's how the short ends. Wow. They basically made a tit.
I've never seen it. I got to see that now.
That's awesome.
And the thing is, like, I know the chat. I mean, the chat's not really used to us being up around this time. You know, I'm looking over here. No one's really saying anything. But one person that's in there that's catching my eye. You know, I mean, granted, Justin was in there, Adrian, etc. But Jet's in there. Now, you guys might not know because, you know, Jet will be talking a bunch of shit, hating and everything, etc., right? But there is one show that Jet really, really liked as far as Hanna Barbera. And I'm going to go ahead and show this right now. This is some top quality content over here. WWE fucking Jetsons movie. Wonderful. Just incredible.
Hey, man. I got one thing to say. Take that shit to the wrestling podcast.
People, the ringside hangout has definitely fucking invaded because this happened. And the thing
man,
is,
if I see Trey pop up, I'm hitting him with a steel chair.
And this is the only time this happened. There's been a Fred Flintstone.
Done with Hanna Barbera because they did a bunch of Flintstone stuff too.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, like they've done some Flintstone stuff. I'm looking at it. I can't hear myself, by the way. We gotta fix that shit, whoever the fuck that is. But yeah, apparently I'm gonna get my ass beat. But at least it'll be animated by Hanna Barbera. So
oh my god, they did one with Scooby-Doo. Why the fuck is Scooby-Doo hanging out with them?
Ooh, and
don't ask that question. You don't want to know the answer to that question.
You don't want to know the answer to that question.
Dude, why the man, they missed all right. I think I know this is fucking stupid.
You don't want this conjure.
No. I know this is fucking stupid.
Oh god, this is stupid.
But I got something. They can possibly do this and be successful if they do Captain Caveman, because Captain Caveman is almost like a wrestler.
True.
Sure. Clearly, the robot butler is gonna, whatever the fuck her name is gonna show up, beat the shit out of all the wrestlers. Because how do you wrestle a fucking robot?
10 out of 10 idea. 10 out of 10.
But even with
I also think George Bush did 9/11, so I'm not the best person to ask about this.
I'll give you one quick story. When I was a kid, there's a local channel here in Kansas City that would show all the really old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and so I got to see all the really weird ones that nobody remembers all that well. So like C-Lab, like the original C-Lab 2020, the bad one that everybody hates. Like Funky Phantom, the Harlem Globetrotters, like stuff that nobody has seen. But then they would do like interesting stuff. Like they did all the animated like movies. So where they did stuff like Count of Monte Cristo and all the classic famous tales and stuff they did for CBS. For some reason, this one channel would have all those on in the morning for kids to compete with the regular, quote unquote, regular cartoons.
Wow.
But why?
I have no idea why.
And
I failed to see this before, but somehow they were getting every Hanna Barbera animation that was non-mainstream.
I just picture some rich motherfucking CEO. We got them. We're gonna play them. Fuck it.
You play it, they will.
We got C-Lab 2020. Let's play this. Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, let's do it.
The ocean, don't they?
Well, and I also remember
kids about the environment. Let's put them in the ocean.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm hyped for this. Like, I'm gonna be watching this sometime soon. You know, even over here, the Flintstones. You know, Stone Age SmackDown. It's called, by the way. What a name. By the way, did you guys know wrestling's fake?
Hanna Barbera could put over Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I cannot fucking. It's so fucking stupid. But on the idea of or on the talk of animations, I guess we don't have a whole lot of time tonight. I know that people really want to watch Anime Night, so we are gonna be ending this shit off. Anthony Wilson, did you throw some water on yourself? You fucking sweat.
No, I don't know why. I'm just over here just sweating this much. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't blame it. It's super.
He's had a flashback to the 1800s.
You can tell it's Howard Justin's at too. His fucking hair is all like fuck.
The humidity is outrageous.
Like my mom always.
Let's put each other off cam when we were talking.
Like my mom always would make that joke. But motherfucker, you looking like a runaway slave. But anyway. No, but anyway, people, we
always
about
flipped away because he was greasing up.
Hey, Master can't catch me. No.
I just pictured some slave owner grabbing you. You just right out.
But anyway, folks, we're actually about to go over to the MCA. God damn it! Shut up. Let me finish. We're about to go
No.
MCA Anime Nights, folks. Like I said, we're doing Studio Spotlight. It's going to be Studio Trigger. We didn't do a poll this week because the Studio Trigger is actually a very young animation studio, so they really don't have a lot of anime to watch. It's only really 4 anime long running series. So guys, if you actually are a fan of Studio Trigger, or you just curious to see what's going on, guys, just to check it out. We'll be putting a rabbit link, of course, on the comment section of this video, and we will also be putting in the Double Toasted link and stuff like that. And also keep the talking to a minimum. Don't talk too much. Keep it about the anime and stuff like that, and just be respectful to everybody that joins the rabbit. And that's pretty much it. And with that being said, Nick, let's just go right up. People, say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Attack!